Yay. Okay. Go live. Hi guys. Hi. Sorry I was a bit late. Having a little bit of trouble with the old thing, with the old multitasking. Hi Ginger, how you doing? How's everyone? Survived results day? We got some light going. Hi Lisa. Got into Bristol politics and philosophy. Got into as your insurance. Bristol politics and philosophy as your insurance. Lisa, that's an amazing insurance to have. Well done. What's your main? What's your number one? Rolls Royce, ask a question. Hi Jade, my love. Sava, how are your students? Good evening, everyone. Hi, my darling. Mia, I actually failed to post to your phone, but it is here. Look. I will post it to you when I'm home. Kindness Art Fairy, you survived. Well done, babe. Well done. Woo! What have you survived? GCSEs? Life? Tell us. Tell us. Where does where does York rank in my opinion? How kind of you to ask for my opinion. You probably should ask Mia because Mia is actually at York. I would say it ranks as the top 20 providers, really secure across pretty much all subjects. I'd say its probably strength is humanities over sciences. So yeah, I would say it's a brilliant, secure Russell Group University. If you want a taste of the kind of traditional life of an English higher education institution, you're damn perfect. Isabella's so stressed for meeting flatmates. Oh, babe, Isabella, like everyone is in the same boat. Honestly, everyone just wants to make friends. You know what? Life hack. This is what I did. This is what my mum did. She baked a cake, and I kind of shared it out on that first evening, and like, my God, win. But yeah, everyone's gonna be nervous. It's crazy for me to say don't be nervous. Of course, it's a new thing, but everyone will be wanting to make friends. But at the same time, people react to that pressure in a slightly different way. So just try and kind of ease yourself into it and kind of give yourself a bit of a plan. Let me have a think. Rolls Royce, do you have to have nines to get into Oxbridge? Thanks Rolls Royce. Send a car to number 2. Lol. No, you don't have to have you don't have to have all nines, you don't have to have mostly nines, but obviously at the end of the day, for Oxbridge, for Imperial, for LSE, ultimately the GCSEs do count, and they're wanting as high as possible in your context. So if you got 1 9 in a school whereby there were no nines, that is better than a string of nines from Eton, because they do look at it in your context. Big at Loughborough. Chloe, fresher in 2026. Nice. Good luck, my darling. Good luck. Right, going to Insta question. It's a bit slower on Insta, so I will reply to you. Richu Son in London. Rich you son London. Lost LSE offer by 4 marks, gutted but secured Warwick. Oh my love. It's so sorry, but my gosh, I mean, I really shouldn't say sorry because you got Warwick. But I appreciate by 4 marks. It's just it's so slight, isn't it? But that's like the reality of this world and the reality of super selective education at the end of the day. If it's over 4 marks, you're a brilliant student and you're going to make an amazing thing of your life. But I feel the pain. I really do. Hi Lily, love. Hi Dave. My uni still hasn't confirmed my place. Do you think I'm cooked? No, Dave, I don't. Dave, I do think it's worth you calling university tomorrow and being like, hey, what do you need? So, Dave, ask the question, what are you waiting for? So, I was actually on the phone this afternoon to a housing company because I've got a student in Canada who couldn't get through to everyone who couldn't get through. So I called and he was like, oh, yeah, by the way, your guarantor didn't work out. But they hadn't communicated that to my student. And so she had to find out through me on the phone. Like, basically, pick up the phone and ask. Huddersfield is a really community-based provider. They do amazing things for their community and they support young people wanting to get into higher education with a variety of qualifications. So in that way, it's an amazing provider. But it's not one of the prestigious academic providers, and I don't want to give you that impression. And you will have to work really hard to kind of connect, but ultimately, you're going to get a degree. So yeah. Do you know anything about extenuating circumstances? I know everything. Well, I don't know everything because that's a joke. Yes, of course, I do. What do you need to know? Uni of York, King's College London for law undergrad. I mean, for law, I would probably say, for undergrad anyway, Amy, I'd probably say King's. Are you deciding between them or are you applying for them? I would say just because of London. Like undergrad level. Insta, Maya 13, daughter got an offer from Cardiff, congratulations, but would now like to defer. She put a request in through their website but hasn't heard anything yet. Should we be worried? No, I don't think you should be worried, but I think you should probably move that request to a call. What was the so you did it through the website. I would email the admissions team also. Normally those kind of requests are done over email. Basically, the reality is your question's not a mad question and they probably will defer it, but it's just the timing of the question that's the problem. Next year I'll be better at this, but basically if students want to defer, they have to really get that sorted before July, because otherwise it just gets too murkily intertwined with clearing and basically Cardiff is busy trying to fill its other places rather than kind of that. But I think you'll be okay, but Maya, just give them a call. Aisha, how to prepare for uni? I'm kind of worried since I'm in high school and confused. Yeah, really great question. I've done a video on the administrative bits to prepare. I think you need to break down preparation into administration, kind of emotional preparation, practical preparation. Like Maya's mum did that amazing challenge of giving her 20 quid to take shopping, went shopping, survived on that shopping for a week to feel how to manage a budget. And Mia, I hope it's okay, but I've actually quoted you in the press, re that. Lol. So I would break down your preparation: emotional, practical, financial. What other kind of ways? Academic, I would look at pre-reading lists if you've got it. Look at your timetable if you've got it. Look at kind of study skills for undergrads. But I think it's a really valid question, so much so that I'm going to write it down on my little notebook as something to do for preparation for uni beyond admin. Because, yeah, anybody here who is at uni, while I charge my phone, anybody here who's at uni, please share top tips to prepare for university, please, because that would be amazing. Great question. Raheem, is it better to do a foundation year at Middlesex or retake A-levels in psychology, sociology and politics to get into a Russell Group uni next year? Please advise. So I think to retake all three, I would suggest that's a huge undertaking. And again, you know my opinion on retakes. Like, this is a personal opinion. It's a general opinion. I don't know your context. I don't know why you got the results you'd got. Only you can answer that with your teacher who knows you. But I would say to retake all of those in the hope of getting a better Russell Group, I would say that's probably putting too much pressure on yourself. And I would look to start the foundation year at Middlesex, work your arse off, and then maybe reapply to a different university for year one. Or move or progress through Middlesex if you like it. But I think move away from the retake and use the foundation as a retake. Does that make sense? Oxford, Sam, or Uni of Hull? Uni of Hull, mate, defo. I'm not even going to answer that question. I mean, they're two brilliant universities, but in very different ways. Sorry, right, TikTok, I'm back to you. Rena, my uni is asking for verification of my certificate, but I don't have it. What should I do? Yeah, Rena, that's totally normal. Are you an international student? They're basically looking to see your qualifications. if you're a UK based student, get in contact with your exams officer and ask for the certificate. If you're an international student, you just need to provide, like, do they have a qualifications checker that they're asking you to use? Get reply. Shawnee, Irish results day tomorrow. Oh gosh, of course, praying for good news. Oh, so much luck. Golly, gosh, guys, I'm so sorry, I forgot. Irish students, so much luck. Opinions on Manchester Metropolitan, is that what MMU stands for? Again, very similar to Huddersfield, a really community-based university, makes amazing access possible to higher education. So there we go. Rini, do you know which uni is best for media and communications? UAE is really good. University of the Arts is really good. Media and communications, league tables, let's just have a look. I would say University of the Arts London probably comes up as number one. Interesting. Sheffield, Warwick, Kings, St Andrews, Cardiff, Leeds. Is that right? Yeah. For communication and media. Cardiff, Leeds, Birmingham, Strathclyde, Loughborough, Exeter, Newcastle, University of the Arts London. So and Royal Holloway. And yeah, UEA is 17, not number one. So Sheffield, have a look at Sheffield. That's really interesting. Have a look at Cardiff. Really interesting. For media, Caden, is it normal to still not have review of marking results back? Yeah, Caden. So it's been, when did you submit? I would say generally you've got to check if it was a priority remark or not. If it was a priority remark, I think basically 4 days is average, 5 days might be. So I think you'll probably get them on Friday. But if it was just a general remark, then it could take up to 2-3 weeks. So I would check with your school as to what they asked for. Lancaster Law, amazing. Amazing. My little 4-year-old needs to go to bed. Rex, you need to go to bed.
Mommy.
No, goodbye. It's really testing. Submitted results day priority. Okay, Kaizen, I would maybe just send an email to your head of year at school to say, look, I haven't heard. Could you kind of chase up, because the exams officer might have got the information but just forgotten to relay. So I would call school. You know, my son posted his first TikTok this evening. So it's his last day of nursery. And he posted a TikTok. Yeah, Rex is a nightmare. Come on.
Can you pass him here?
Richard doesn't want to be seen. Hang on. Can you all say goodbye to Rex?
Right, Rex.
Come on.
Going to the bathroom. Come on. Yes, because you're not listening being bottled.
Come on. It's very late, darling.
Come on.
Night. I'll see you tomorrow. Sozo. Okay, thanks, Alice. Right, Dan, should I do an accelerated degree? You always get to see my bum. Do you do an accelerated, where you've gone? Should I do an accelerated degree, then general GEM, or just gap year, then do undergrad medicine? Oh, right, so graduate medicine. I mean, Dan, it's really difficult. Why would you choose the first option rather than doing medicine in the first place? Where are you at in the cycle? Yes, university. This is a really good question from Sarish. Do unis look at AS levels for Oxbridge Law? I got A, B, B, C, but dropped subject with the C. Yes, they look at AS levels, and you do need to put all of them down. They see AS levels as even more significant than GCSEs, because that is your latest kind of qualification level. So, yeah, watch that one. Rebecca, really worried about the financial situation of Nottingham. I know you did a post on this, but is this solid? I mean, I think it's fair enough to be worried. I think it would be naive not to be aware of the situation. I think, yes, the response that they shared with me is correct. I think the reality is an institution like Nottingham is not going to be able to fail. I think they have made some serious, quite kind of bold strategies in order to kind of counter in order to stop the tide. I think you will feel it when you're there. I think you'll feel the sense of the university. It's slightly insecure, but I think basically, it is solving the situation. And I think you'll be part of the future. I mean, but ultimately, I think you should probably speak to them if you are worried. Like, what kind of guarantee are they going to provide you that the course doesn't fold within a year? That could be quite interesting. Ask them. I think if I was in your position, that's what I would ask. Watkins Willer in Insta. What should you do? What should you do if you haven't passed GCSE Maths yet, but they are doing a foundation year? Resit it. Resit it. Like, your university should actually be able to sort that out for you and to do it with you, or do it at a further education college, or do it online. Just resit it. It's really important. Is Lancaster an employable uni, even though it's not a Russell Group for economics? 100%. The notion of Russell Group now, honestly, I would say is completely irrelevant. Like, we live in a time of much more criticality around universities, and I think this notion of an artificially created brand name, aka Russell Group, it's just not worth its salt anymore. Lancaster is a strong provider. Would you recommend GCSE Maths or Functional Skills Maths? It depends which one. It depends on your future. If you want to go down a more academic pathway, I would say try and get that GCSE. If you're not sure, you might go down a more vocational pathway, or indeed you struggled the hell out of GCSE Maths, which, by the way, I did. I would potentially look at functional skills. So yeah. How common are transfers between uni from non-Russell Group to Russell Group? I would say, Sana, increasingly common. I actually got an email from a mum who was kind of struggling with a similar situation. Does a student move into foundation somewhere, or do they take a gap year? And I was like, well, why don't you start on the foundation, see if you like it, and then reapply throughout. And they were like, oh, I didn't know you could apply at the same time. Yeah, you can. You just can't defer a place at university and reapply to a new university. That's what you can't do. But you certainly can apply to a different university while you're still at university. Madly. Oh, the reconsideration one's gone. I'll try and find it. G, how easy is it to switch course if you don't have the grades for that when you're at uni? It really depends. It depends on how well you do in the course. It depends on how subscribed that course is. It depends on your ability to communicate with the professionals in that course. So I would say probably not immediately would be my answer. I don't think you'd be able to change in the first 2 weeks, but I think it could be something that you could maybe look to do in year 2 if you are literally on track for a first. That's what I'd say. Lloyd, can I still apply for a competitive Oxbridge course if I'm predicted the minimum entry? Yeah, of course, Lloyd. The entry on the course for any university is what they are requesting, but as you know, it is the minimum expectation. You can still absolutely make a competitive application, but you do have to go into it with your eyes wide open. Unlike clearing, actually first base applications are so much clearer, ironically. Is it a risk to combine 2 subjects in personal statement? No, or if you're applying for a joint degree, you have to. So no. Is Southampton, Bowie Long, is Southampton a good uni? Yes, especially for biomedical. Yes, biomedical engineering. Yeah, great. Loughborough, I would say Loughborough pips it. I seem to be really pushing Loughborough at the moment. I think it's a really good mix of everything, but Southampton's brilliant also. Biomedical engineering, to be honest, I think I would go with the campus that you like, because it's such a kind of practical, almost vocational degree. I think as long as you're at a really strong provider, which you are either, I would choose the one you prefer. On the UCAS website, can you explain the offer rate percentages? Where's that, Rinny? The offer rate percentages. I don't know if I see that. Taryn, is history and politics at SOAS a good degree for politics and international relations career? Yeah, 100%. It is going in eyes wide open to SOAS as a very specialist social science university in London. But yeah, I think it'd be great. My friend was at SOAS when he took me down, and everyone was smoking marijuana in the basement, and it was totally legal because it's this weird terrain of it's not owned. I can't really understand it. Andrea, how much does clearing care about grades? I mean, clearing still needs grades, but there is a greater degree of flexibility, a much greater degree of flexibility. I know, Lulu, I know, isn't it? Right, Ellis from Insta. Sorry, I've been ignoring you, my loves. I got A*, amazing, but GCSEs were a mixed bag. Would I be competitive applicant for Cambridge? Yeah, absolutely, Ellis. You sound like me. That's basically kind of my profile. I think just make up for it with supercurricular, with reading, with ambition, and yeah, with a strong personal statement. Aisha, what should international students focus on in high school if they want to apply to competitive UK universities? That's a TikTok series if ever I heard. I am actually going to do one for you. International student preparation. It's really difficult because it's really, really long. I think the biggest thing that would help international students is getting in bed with the supercurricular that universities in the UK offer for students at high school. Not everyone would be eligible for you, but I think these essay competitions, even like webinars and lectures, it's just doing a few things like that. I think personal statement is a really important kind of area of need that international students struggle with because it's a very different way of writing to the American system, etc. But yeah, I'm going to do a whole series for you, Aisha. My Rex, he's having a nightmare, guys. So for a student hoping to study abroad, when should we actually start researching university scholarships and requirements? So Aisha, I would say you should start researching. So let's say we're in August now. In the UK, students who will be going to university in September 2027, if they don't take a gap year, I would say now is a really good time to research universities, entry requirements, scholarships, research. It's all very research stage. October, you need to kind of start getting into bed with supercurricular. Then October, November, that's when you select your universities and apply. And then January, February, March of 2027, that is when you apply for scholarships. The reality is you can only apply for a scholarship when you get a place at university. So it's all, even though, you could sit there and be like, right, from year 8, I'm going to plan my Oxbridge entry. The reality is actually it is quite a close proximity of time where you actually get yourself sorted in application stage. I hope that makes some sense. Okay, ticky-tocky. Lucy, is Bath an okay uni? I missed my Cambridge offer and got there as insurance. I'm really unsure. Bath's an amazing university. Incredible. Really strong. Really, really strong. What's making you feel unsure about it? Yeah, thanks, Lily. Totally. Imi, heading off to UWE in September to study photography. So excited. I'm going a year earlier than usual. That's so cool, Imi. Good luck. Send me a photo. Whoa. As an Irish student, how will the universities get my grades? So good question. I might need to find out, because how do universities in UK get, they must get Irish student grades. So UK universities get Irish Leaving Certificate grades by having students self-report their pending grades through UCAS during application and then manually sending official state examination commission results, often via scanned certificates. This is the AI summary. Unlike many domestic UK qualifications that transfer automatically, Irish Leaving Certificate results must usually be sent directly by the student to the university team. Okay, this is actually from UCAS itself. If you're taking exam at international or GCSEs, remember results to your private student. Oh, no, that's all a pile of poo. UCAS receive results for most level 3 qualifications. This includes Irish Leaving Certificates. What they don't include is international student data or evidence of GCSEs or National 5 results. So ignore everything I've just read. That, my friend, basically it's automatic. So UCAS and universities already know your result. Because it's saying here actually that UCAS receives it and therefore you won't need to do anything. Yeah, probably, Kezia, probably. But to be honest, I'm glad. This is UCAS and I trust UCAS's website. So let's go with that. Would you be so kind as to tell me tomorrow how it goes? Hello, which uni would you say is better, St Andrews or Queen Mary London for law? Well, they are two totally different degrees, so you can't compare like for like at all. The provider that is the most prestigiously ranked is St Andrews, significantly higher than Queen Mary. The courses are completely different. Ask Lulu how she thinks, how she feels about philosophy. What is my opinion on retakes? I think I just posted my video on retakes. Did I? Retakes? Or like top tips for them. I don't really have an opinion on I don't really have an opinion on retake. Well, no, I do have an opinion. That's a lie. my opinion on them is only do them if you are really, really blooming sure, and that you have the financial ability, that you have the emotional tenacity, and you have a plan to improve them. But generally, I would always urge people just to move on, go to a foundation if necessary, because foundation acts as a retake, unless you want to go into academia or medicine. Is it certain that a uni will let me in if my paper is being reviewed after narrowly missing an offer? No, it's not certain, Anonymous. It's a really good question. The university, it's totally up to their discretion whether they can wait, whether they've still got a place. Unfortunately, it's completely up to the university, I'm afraid. Yeah. Oh, Mia, thank you. Thank you. And actually, you know what? The way I'm going to work is going to change a bit, because my personal admin isn't apt. Well, everything is it's just all too much. So, you know, I used to offer free calls. I just don't think I have capacity to do that anymore. So I'm going to say all the free communication I'm going to do is either on here or on my WhatsApp group, which Mia is plugging. And Mia is on it, and Lulu's on it, and Jaden's on it, and amazing other people are on it. So really recommend. It's completely free to join. Raheem, where is best to retake A-levels with a tutor to retake in year 1 online? Retake. What do you mean, where is best? Do you mean is it better to do it online or to go to a private college? I guess it depends upon your means. I would say the significant thing is to check that you can take your certain courses via a tutor. For instance, for English, for Edexcel, and indeed for AQA, you have a certain element of coursework that needs to be marked by an exam approved centre. So while I teach English at school, I tutor English. I can't homeschool an English A-level completely, because they would need a coursework element, or at least I guess I have done that in the past, but they would then go to a different provider to kind of approve coursework. For a high school student interested in medicine, what should I start to do to prepare for university for medicine? Great question. I would say extended periods of work experience in a healthcare setting, really important. I would make sure you understand what going into medicine actually is. So looking at kind of the politics and issues of the NHS if you're aiming on in the UK. And I would also say just start getting familiar with the terrain of the UCAT. What unis would you say are the best unis around things like education degrees? So Kindness Art Fairy, do you mean doing a PGCE, or do you mean the study of education? Because that's quite different. I'd say for the study of education, you're looking at Cambridge, you're looking at UCL, probably Durham. For PGCE or QTS, you're looking at, well, again, UCL, because they've got the Centre of Education, Department, whatever. They've got a big education arm. And then, yeah, basically. Can I apply to other unis while at uni? Ellis, great question. Yes, you can apply to other unis while at uni. I wouldn't recommend it, because that's a lot of multitasking, but yeah. Strathclyde, Alice, for education. Okay, cool. Strathclyde for education, says Alice. Oh, good. Yeah, I did. Educated. It's so good. My next book that I recommend everybody to read is London Falling. It's amazing. And then the book I'm reading at the moment is Slow. It's slow. It was so good to start, and now I'm just like pretending to read. You know, when you get to that point. Anyway, other than Oxford, what unis have a strong physics philosophy joint degree? Oh, that's a good question. Physics and philosophy. Let's have a look. UCAS course. So you might just have to look at joint honours, joint science honours, and see what they say. So you want physics and philosophy. I wonder if Edinburgh has it. Lulu's at Edinburgh, physics and does philosophy. Physics and philosophy. Okay, I've just looked at this up at UCAS. So Bristol, King's, York. Physics with philosophy, by the way, means that it's basically 80% physics, 20% philosophy. Durham, it has philosophy and physics. St Andrews, Oxford, Bath, as I said, Bristol. I mean, there's some amazing ones already. Lancaster, no, take it back. They just have physics. Leicester has physics and astronomy, but that's not philosophy, is it? There we go. Some really good ones there. Madonna in a fur coat. Who's that by? Fair enough, Lily. I love your honesty. Should I get my English language remarked as I'm 6 marks out from a grade 4? Freya, why not? Like, why not? I'd say it's probably a long shot. But that being said, one of my students moved up 10 marks. So yeah, why not? You're not going to move down further. So yeah, why not? Isn't it, Kezia? Isn't it? Isn't it, Jaden? How hard is it to get into Oxford Grad Med versus Imperial? Do you mean Grad Med for Imperial? I would say both Grad Meds are very tricky. There's like such a limited place. But do you mean undergrad Imperial versus Oxford Grad? Have a look. Nice, Mia. Have a look. Interesting. I don't know what she's... Come back to that. Jaden, yeah. Yeah. Do you want to? I mean, you've got quite a lot on. Are you going to have a full timetable next year? Do master's applications look at A-level? I want to try for LSE Oxford Economics Management and got ABB in A-levels. Yeah, it's part of the application, but to be honest, I think with a really strong first and a really strong master's kind of statement of purpose, I think you'll certainly be looked at. ABB, yeah. Let's just actually have a look. Oxford, what kind of, just have Oxford Masters. I'll just pick a random one. Oh, you want economics management, don't you? I'm just going to look at what do I want? I want a list of courses. I don't want what each of them mean. Find a taught course. Here we go. PGC. Oxford does so many PGCEs. I mean, I'm just going to look at the first one because otherwise this is going to take ages. MSc in Financial Economics at Oxford. Program overview. Review your CV. Oh no. Oh yeah, this with the SAID Business School. SAID blended learning. That's fine. It's quite hard to find, isn't it? Application process. Decisions, application requirements. Here we go. This is for Oxford Masters. Undergraduate, GAMMAT, which is a different type of kind of logical reasoning test. Work experience essays, talent video, language proficiency, application fee. So actually, from that list, no, they don't care about your A levels, but it will be in there. Blue, I had a friend say that answering each personal statement question directly proves you're teachable and can respond to the question. I've seen loads of conflicting advice about just ignoring the questions. Oh, Blue, God, my absolute pet peeve is the advice around personal statements, because I get it. It's so noisy in social media land as to what to do and what not to do. And I've actually got a post that I'm going to post on your behalf, Blue, and I want you to comment under it. I'm going to be really honest. Every single social media content creator is just that. They have their own subjective point of view, including me. There is no one way of doing this, and there is no if you do this then you're screwed, and if you don't do this you're screwed. Content, I know a particular TikToker who's like, do this and you will get in. Don't do this and you won't get in, and it's just like it's just so wrong and it's not true. But number one, admission tutors do not see the breakdown of the questions, so they will just have one piece of text. They won't know where question 1 ends and where question 2 starts, so that's really important. And I think answering the questions directly, I would say, I wouldn't answer the questions directly to show you're teachable. I would just literally use the question to help you, and that is what they want to know. They want to know why you want to do the subject. So tell me, why do you want to do the subject? But just be specific. Similarly, what have you gained from your current qualifications? Yeah, answer it specifically, not again to prove to be teachable, but they are really good stimulus. That's a long rant. Does that make sense? Claire Redway. Sorry, I shouldn't read your full name. Was one grade short of insurance offer, but they said no. Is it worth reapplying with grades in hand for next year? It's a tricky one because it was during clearing, right? I would suspect, I mean, at the end of the day, if you are going to reapply, you have 5 courses. Absolutely make that one of your 5. What have you got to lose? But I would be surprised if they accept you if they have rejected you in clearing. I would think, Claire, what can you do to add to your profile? Can you add a different qualification? Can you add some cool work experience? Can you add something that builds your profile? That's what I'd think about. Sorry, TikTok, I've been ignoring you. Anyone have any advice on working while being at uni? I go to uni in Edinburgh and work in London. Oh yeah, that's so cool. Do you mean like, Lulu, like, do you want advice or do you want to give advice? Or in your go to uni in Edinburgh and work in London? Do you where's MCR? Manchester. MCR. Yeah, Lulu. Yeah, it is really tricky. Do you work for your like not the school, the university recruitment team? Do you know what I mean? The like welcome team, stuff like that. Ooh, that's hard. Job whilst at uni, it's manageable and great to have a wee bit of money coming in. True. Yeah, it's really, really hard. Really, really hard. I think I would try and get some. I would try and get some work with the university. Also, Lily, why don't you start like because you've got a social media channel, haven't you? Why don't you start offering some tutoring? Why don't you this is what I would do if I were you. You've got a social media platform, use it to go hard on philosophy and be like, this is my personal statement, top tips for application, and I bet you'll get some people interested. Honestly. It would be possible to undertake a level art history alongside it in 1 year. Well, there we go. I mean, that sounds good. Oh right. Oh right. Oh, I mean that's a pretty cool job. No? Hmm. What do schools look for in grad med applicants compared to undergraduate applicants? Is it the same? No, they look for maturity and a serious amount of work experience. So most people who apply to grad med have probably some kind of STEM undergrad and will have had not just a kind of voluntary role in a hospital, but basically will have been working for a couple of years in a healthcare setting. I would say generally. Um, don't sacrifice your degree. You've worked too hard. Miss Lulu. Will unis care if I get a scholarship award to my college? Yeah, they will. Why did you get it? Yes, Liboma, I said, yeah, that sounds really cool. Do the art history thing. Sounds brilliant. But commuting is really hard. Like I commuted to Cheltenham, so UCAS is in Cheltenham, and I commute there within a day. I leave at 12 and I get back at 9. And I know that doesn't sound like mad, but it's actually I work in the morning and I get back really late. I miss my kids' bedtime. It's really hard. Commuting is really hard. I just think, Lulu, the answer is social media, frankly. Jaden would know. Lol, joke. No, you're beautiful, Jaden. My daughter, Raheem, so my daughter wants to retake A levels and reject an offer from foundation year. How do I convince her to move forward? Oh, God. I don't think you can convince her. I think if I were you, I would try and get other people into her orbit of influence and try and get her to speak to other people. Her teachers, namely, I think importantly, not just family, because and I know for a fact, the more I push something on my kids, the more they're going to run away. So I would try and get other people in her orbit. You can book a one-to-one with me. I just don't have availability until the first week of September. But if you could wait that long. Otherwise, maybe even consider like contacting some of her peers that are going to university. But I think, you know what, their strategy is to get her to have a kind of more open conversation. But I'd also kind of question for you, why don't you want her to reset? Why do you want her to do the foundation year? What is that? And just have you communicated? 0% beer is making me burp. Have you communicated that with her? But I really feel that. But yeah, let me know. Let me know how you get on. Yeah, Audi, academic scholarship, mainly focused on GCSEs, sounds amazing. G, I got a 3C in A level, but I want to apply. Got 3C, but I want to apply for grad med at competitive uni. What work experience can I get in uni? Okay, so well, firstly, I would say if you've got 3Cs at A level, you're going to need to work really hard at university, not talking about work experience, to get a first, because you're going to need to counter those A levels. When you're when you're at uni, I think look at like volunteering, learn St John's Ambulance kind of key, what do you call, like life-saving skills, first aid, there we go. Volunteer with the St John's Ambulance and work your way up there. Volunteer in your local care home, volunteer at your kind of university events team in the health and safety, that kind of thing, and then see if you can get work experience over time in hospital for 3 years. But then after graduation, I would look to work for a gap year, look to work seriously in a profession or around adjacent to medicine, if not medicine, as in being a receptionist in a hospital. That's also really valuable. Research projects, and also look for work in healthcare. So yeah, nursing homes, really good one. Pharmacy is a great one. Yeah. Basic life support, etc. Thank you, Nick. It's sometimes mad when I've been speaking loads and I'm like, oh, suddenly gone really quiet. Yeah, thank you, everyone. Oh my god, no way. Jane, you used to model as a teenager, actually, but then I ended up failing my maths GCSE. That's so interesting. That's so cool. Life, eh? Right. It seems to slow down to questions. Any other worries? Genuinely wild how I've grown up in the community, been here for like 3 years. Whoa, have you, Mia? My gosh. Feels like I've aged 10 years. What, in the community? Oh no. Sorry about that. Got AAB, Leeds and Sheffield contextual. I'm eligible, but I already have a place for another degree. Leeds and Sheffield contextual. So you got AAB, Leeds and Sheffield contextual. I'm eligible, but I already have a place for another degree. So you're essentially saying you've got a place at one, but you could get into Leeds and Sheffield. Is that correct? Have you applied? Have they got place in clearing? Jaden, I think you've been here 16 months, maybe? Because, yeah, I think 2 years. I know. Yeah, I know I started TikTok when my 4-year-old was about 9 months. So, yeah. Mad. Oh, yeah, I remember that. What is that? What was that t-shirt? I can't remember you. I remember you telling me. Basically, me and Jaden are pretty much the same person in the sense that we both went to Corpus. We both did HSBS. We're both teachers, but there was another thing as well. Aren't you involved in drama or something? For Sono, I want to apply for med with AAB. Right, okay. So you've got a place for sonography somewhere, but you want to apply for med with AAB. I mean, I would. Is that right? Yeah, right. Oh, okay. I would love to teach drama. Yeah, Lulu and Mia, you've been here for the same amount of time, I think. You're the hard ones. You have, Mia. By the way, how's Charlie getting on? Why are you crying? Yeah. Have I stopped swearing? I think I have, haven't I? Ellis, is it better to go to Exeter for law or go to UCL LSE for politics? I had a terrible L on that. I would absolutely 100% LSE or UCL for politics. Basically, absolutely 100%. How would I apply for accommodation while going through clearing? Andrea, great question. You have to speak to them. So accommodation isn't done by UCAS, it's done by the university. So if you do get a clearing place, you have to ask them, cool, what accommodation is provided? Is it guaranteed? But you have to move really, really quickly. So yeah, essentially you've got to speak to the university that's offering you a clearing place, because a clearing place isn't necessarily one that comes with accommodation. Cares because PhDs are not fun, but it will be fine. I know, I hear you. I started a PhD and I didn't finish it for that very reason. I know, Jaden. I know, a meet and greet. I actually wanted to try and organise a thank you summer party, but just haven't had capacity. Maybe should we try and organise it for Christmas? Just like find a location, just meet up. Should I be preparing for the Tara outside of your course, and how? Diana, I think it's a really good question. I think the course is meant to give you the kind of resources and the way of thinking to then go and continue to practice. And if I were you, I would download the workbooks that you're doing and then input that into AI and be like, these are workbooks, please replicate them, creating more questions for me to practice. There we go. That's what I would do. So yeah, I know. It's weird, isn't it? Oh yeah. Ice skating. I actually love ice skating, so yeah, let's do it. I won't take my children there because they absolutely hate it. It was so funny when I took them. I took my 2 children under 6 on my own ice skating. They couldn't about ice skate. It was just a lot of crying, and it was so expensive. I was like, get on the ice, and they wouldn't. No problem, Diana. I think we should all do a TED Talk. Lulu, yeah, and that's near where I grew up, so yeah, maybe we can all check out Mar and Parwade. Yeah, good. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know enough medics, so I'm sure they can help. Right, okay. Right. What to do today? I'm a bit tired. I think if there's no other questions, conform anywhere with enough determination. Yes. Can I also ask, because I'm applying to PPE, that you course, should I prioritise the written section? Don't they say that they don't actually look at the written section? PPE Oxford. Let's have a look. Tara. As part of blah blah blah. 1 second. Mission test. Here we go. Take Tara. Applicants must take all 3. Yeah. Oh no, fine. Which one? Critical thinking. I would focus on the one that you find hardest, frankly, Diana. Well, I'm literally on the Oxford website now, and it's saying all Oxford applicants must take all 3 modules. So it will be. Will I be able to do English Lit A-level if I only did English Lang for my GCSEs? So, Audie, it would depend upon your college kind of entry requirements. I would be... So, why did you only do English Lang? English Lit, I mean, it's an interesting one. Language is arguably harder, but you haven't had the basis of like textual analysis. I mean, I think you probably could, but how well did you do in your GCSEs? Yeah, Audie, how well did you do in them? So okay, which is weird because they're offering us. That's bizarre. How well did you do, if you don't mind me asking, in language? Yeah, defo, Jaden. Defo. I do. I tutor it online. A 9. Okay, yeah, defo. I think Audie I would do like a kind of really quick bite-sized review of English literature. Just try and kind of... I think it's going to be a jump, but the jump is basically just reading longer texts over time. So I think you'll be okay. Yeah. I think maybe ask your school how they're planning on preparing you if you haven't got, you know what I mean, that literature experience. Audie, yeah, it's an interesting one. I've never heard of that before. Asphia, what would you recommend to a student during grade 10 and 11 to make their university application strongest without sacrificing grades? Doing great. Oh, you mean in year 10 and 11 to make university applications stronger without sacrificing their grades? Is that what you're saying? Year 10, 11? I would say something very simple. Focus on your GCSEs and get amazing grades. You don't need to worry about other things. Genuinely. I obviously I do work with students who are younger, but often it's about just trying to get their GCSE sorted and straight, and a little bit of work over their oracy. But ultimately, I'd say probably build the academic reputation of your qualifications. Oh yeah, fair, Jaden. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'd like to. I don't think I'd like to teach year 11s again or year 10s, but yeah. Isn't lit compulsory? No, languages. Have you ever heard of the ATHE level 3 course? I'm doing the business management course. No, what's ATHE? ATHE level 3. No. Oh, it's just an access to higher education. Yeah. They're great. Love them. Are you 20? Oh, Mia, happy birthday. Happy birthday. That's so sweet. Yeah, Asya, honestly, international, I promise you. I think it's about getting the grades. There are some things to be doing. But I would say get your grades sorted. I mean, you can have a look at Lumiere, Ladder, Immerse Education. They do lots of things that you could have a look at. So Lumiere, Ladder, Immerse. But I would say focus on your GCSEs. Oh my God, Jaden, covering year 7s. Oh no. Oh yeah, good. Yeah, good. That's funny. I think my parents took me to Italy when I was 20. I think they took me to Venice. Maybe 21. Not sure. What would you recommend doing after that's not uni after a course like that? Oh, probably a degree apprenticeship. I mean, you're doing it in business and management. Yeah, I'd look for an apprenticeship. I'd look for a level 4 apprenticeship or a level 5 if you can. Yeah. Nice. Oh, and hopefully taking a Thursday off. Great. But still head of English. No problem, Polly. But yeah, it's a great qualification. Adrian. My son needs to retake GCSEs. He got a few good results, including passing maths, but he has to resit maths and English in November and basically spent a year doing this. Has he got any other options? He doesn't need to resit maths and English without doing a level 3 at the same time. What he should do is resit maths and English whilst also doing a level 3 qualification. And if he's not offered that, look to a different college to do so. Also, if he has passed maths, why is he resitting it? If he's got a 4, why is he resitting it? Why not just concentrate on English? That's what I would say. Just do English in November, start on a level 3 qualification at the same time, and then bring in maths retake for June if necessary. My son got 4s, 4 9s, 4 8s, 3 7s, and 1 6. He went to a normal non-selective secondary school. He wants to do medicine. Do you think these grades are good enough for Oxford, Cambridge? 4 9s, 4 8s. I think maybe. The reality is, are those grades good enough for medicine generally? I'm not even sure you should just be focusing, as in Oxford, Cambridge. I think it's really just generally medicine. GCSEs are such an important gatekeeper. I definitely think he should have a go. So how about this, House in London? He should have a go. But with those grades, he has to wow on the UCAT. Really, truly. Almost like he needs to think about his application like going in on the defensive, that he has to kind of show and illustrate that he has made so much of a kind of made massive kind of inroads, massive improvements. So yeah, but he's got a shot if his UCAT's amazing. Ooh, that's so funny, Mia. Venice is amazing, and it's not going to be too hot. Wow. Need you full-time in law. Nice. Good. Head of English, no thank you. Great. You get to focus on law, get to focus on sixth formers. Fantastic. Yeah, Polly, I would totally say a degree apprenticeship. And then maybe, Jaden, you could do a free call on Thursdays. I'm a toy. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, you shouldn't feel like that. And I think maybe take this year and not change something next year, because you've gone through a lot of change. So I think probably maybe, are you asserting yourself enough? I mean, this is a first year in the new school, isn't it? And then going into your second year. I think, yeah, you shouldn't feel like that, basically. And if you are, it's a warning sign. So I think it sounds like you need to assert some boundaries, which is easy enough to say, isn't it? But, well, you need to look at anything supercurricular I did the summer before year 12. They will if you signpost them to it, Audie, but they won't if you don't. The point of doing supercurriculars isn't so they tick and be like, oh yeah, cool, you got that, you got that. The point of doing supercurriculars is that you put it in your personal statement, and therefore you can mention anything you want. Adrian got a 5 in maths. Oh, Adrian, leave maths alone. Seriously. He's passed, and he's passed well. I would focus on English. If he didn't get a 3 and if he didn't get a 4 in English, focus on English, resit November, do a level 3 at the same time. The 6 is getting remarked. It's close to a 7. It was English language. Yeah, nice. Yeah, that will be really helpful. House in London, I think, treat my thoughts with a piece of salt, but I think ultimately what I've landed on is right. He's definitely a possible candidate, but he needs to go in strong and fighting with the UCAT. Good evening. Is there any way my daughter can take the A-level exam online for free? No. They have to be taken at exam centres. In the UK, we don't do online exams. So even if you do an exam on a laptop, it has to be an exam centre. And it won't be free if you're taking it like that. But it will be in a college if she's under a certain age. Yeah, Jaden D. I kind of actually, you know what I need to do with the community, the crew and community? I need to be like, right, guys, this is what I'm not coping with. What would people like? Also, with the 6th medicine student, could you say Oxbridge will question their academic continuity? Yeah, I think they might. I'm doing the AS level 3 course from home, so I have lots of free time to get work experience. Yeah, nice, great. Focus on work experience. We did the quote of the day or whatever. Oh, yeah, at the end. Oh, that was really nice, the affirmation. Can I open 2 student accounts at the same time? Yes, you can. Do you mean bank accounts? And you should. One, and it's like I do. I have a bank account, a high street bank, and I have an online bank. Yeah. Okay, I'll do an affirmation. And I'm your new go-between. Yes, yeah, you are. Work experience at companies. I would look at, there's a really good Forage. It's a really good work experience platform. And actually, speakers in schools, which sounds mad, have a great amount of work experience. Is it Speakers for Schools? No, it's called Futures for All. It used to be called Speakers for Schools. Futures for All. Polly, Futures for All. I'm an international student. I'm not doing GCSEs, so how does that work for me? Asfia. As long as you've got a level 2 qualification, it doesn't need to be GCSEs. Just look up a course you're interested in at a university you're interested in, and it will have its equivalency for international qualifications, so you'll be fine. Right, I'm going to have a word of affirmation. Yeah, Forage is amazing. Yeah, I bet, Mia. Also, have you looked at Prime, Mia? Prime's amazing for law. Yes, so good, Jaden. Great advice. Get yourself on LinkedIn, 100%. Small business near me or marketing companies. Polly, if you want some work experience, you can get some work experience under me. I can give you loads of jobs. Yeah. Polly, DM me. I mean, or maybe actually Polly, email me. I'm on holiday tomorrow. In Westgate on Sea. If anyone else is there, say hi. I know, but it is an important one. So you've got to get on it, Lulu. Yes, I'm going to go. Right, words of affirmation. You're all beautiful buggers, aren't you? Is that enough? To strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield. Tennyson. There we go. Second quote for free. I feel a bit like hot, but like this is 0% and I don't drink. Anyway, interesting, Cares. LinkedIn is how I got my grad job. That's so interesting. It's so interesting. Yeah, Polly D. Yeah, as I say, I probably won't get back to you next week, but like I can, if you, I don't know where you're based, but I could maybe kind of give you a little something to do. Yeah. All right, guys. Yeah, to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield. Love you all. Thank you for being part of this community. Thank you for making me better. And thank you for being awesome inquirers of life, frankly. Best way to prepare for the UCAT? Probably best way. I mean, there's loads of like practice questions. I've just worked through past papers, basically. Your son is going into year 12 though, isn't he? Don't do it yet. Start it in April next year. Honestly, don't spend too long. Otherwise you'll go mad. But yeah, April next year, do past papers. That's the best way. Right. Bye Lulu the model. Bye Mia the amazing. Bye Jaden the wonderful. Bye Kezia the PhD. Bye the wonderful people of this group. Thank you very much everyone for attending. I think you're amazing. Bye! Night night, everyone. Epithets, yes. You are wonderful. No, you. No, you. No.